How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex, and my co-host here, Ryan Moran. Today, we want to discuss Garrett Wilson, take a look at his catches from Week 8 against the Patriots. And Garrett Wilson has really taken on a pretty big role in this offense. Obviously, Elijah Moore's role has diminished, but Garrett Wilson has kind of filled his spot and supplemented those reps, and he's completely run with it. He's really developing into a very reliable target for Zach Wilson. You can see the athleticism on the football field. His IQ is fantastic. He's a great route runner. He uses his body extraordinarily well, and he has maximum effort. He puts together like 100% effort plays every single play. Sometimes you'll see guys go 50%. They won't put in the max, and he just is always going 100. And I think that that's something to notice and give him credit to, because some guys maybe will take a play off. He never does that. He's always on top of his game. He's always in a position where he can help his team, and he has up to this point in the season. The Jets have completely fallen in love with his skill set. Obviously, 115 yards against New England on 6 catches on 7 targets. This year so far, 429 yards and 2 scores over 8 games. His snap count has gradually increased here as the season's gone on. Started at about 50 to 60%. Now he's in the 70 to 80% range the last 2 weeks. So you're seeing him take a big step forward in his usage as well. But Ryan, when you're looking at Garrett Wilson, before we dive into some of his clips today, what makes you so excited about his future and the impact he's already made on this offense?
It was great to see Garrett involved in a big way on Sunday, Alex. I think it was really about time that Zach Wilson just started to make Garrett a little bit more of a focal point. We saw really what he was doing in weeks 2 and 3, the last 2 games that Flacco started. And then Zach kind of came in, and, that's really when Brees started to heat up, and the identity, the, runs pass ratio became a little bit more balanced. And in turn, you were seeing like the Jair Alexanders of the world really kind of following Garrett, which I think tells you, people really see him as the top wide receiver of this group, and for good reason. I think Garrett's extremely talented. He's very smart, to be able to play that slot receiver position from the jump as a rookie like he has. Obviously, we know how crafty he is, and, his footwork is very unique, and what he can do with releases, what he can do with his routes, especially when he is not going up against press coverage and he's got a little space to operate with. But it's his smarts and intelligence, which is another reason why I think the Jets loved him as much as they did. And then we'll see in all 6 of these catches that he made from Sunday's game, obviously for 115 yards, his best to date had the big 54-yarder. He's very complete. Like, there's really nothing he can't do, whether it's out wide, in the slot, underneath, as we'll see in the gadget game, the quick throws, what he can really do with the ball in his hands after the catch. He's very quick. He's shifty in space. You see him over the middle, on the intermediate level. He's got contested catch ability, which is really nice. The catch radius, the arm length, the big hands, what he can do, in the air, contorting his frame, high pointing the ball, the hang time he can get in the air. And, lastly, he's got that 4.3 speed, to really beat you deep and generate explosives like we saw in Sunday's game. And that was really, a big play that the Jets needed and will continue to need more of, here as we continue to go. And I think Garrett's really just getting started. He's an exciting talent, a complete player, with tons of versatility, and excited to go over, his great plays from Sunday's game.
Absolutely. So let's dive into some of his clips right now. Obviously, an extraordinarily talented player. This is a guy who it can be a long-term solution for this offense. And honestly, he probably will be. And he already is proving that he has the capabilities. But, a lot of times you'll find receivers get a little egotistical, especially, you're watching Elijah Moore kind of go through that right now. Garrett Wilson is just a good dude. You know what I mean? Like, aside from the tangible traits and what he does on the football field, just a great locker room guy as well. And he leaves it all on the field, man. He gives 100% effort. And I think the Jets are rewarding him for that patience and the expectations that everyone had for him. And it's definitely, you're seeing that a reliance on those rookies. Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are the future of this Jets offense. So, I'm curious as to what Elijah Moore's role will be moving forward. But, let's take a look at the 115 yards that Garrett Wilson put on the football field. And they used him in a myriad of ways regarding just being a traditional receiver. They used him in gadget concepts. He was all over the field doing different things. And Mike LaFleur is clearly building this offense to feature through him. So that's something to keep in mind if you're a fantasy football player looking at the future and Garrett Wilson's usage here. But Ryan, I'll let you kick it off in terms of his first catch of the day.
So obviously this is a 3rd and 5 early in the game. This was the first of, the first big play that the Jets created in this game. Obviously, it comes after 1 third down that was converted to Tyler Conklin early in their drive. And on this play here, you're going to see Zach move out of the pocket, and Garrett does a really good job just feeling, space in the scramble drill, which what was an attribute of his coming out of, Ohio State, his ability to, kind of attack corners, blind spots, his feel for, deep level routes and really where to get. And you'll see as we go through this play, I mean, obviously he lines up in the slot, ends up running a little bit of an out and up and, just makes a really good grab down the field, good concentration, good hands. And, he does a little bit after the catch as well.
Yeah, let's take a look. Nice by Zach getting out of the pocket. Definitely a better first half.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous. Absolute strike. That's the thing though. Like you either get the good Zach Wilson or you get the one that throws interceptions right to the other team. This is a great play, right? Rolls out of the pocket, buys himself some time on the run. This is why you drafted Zach Wilson. This throw right here is why you drafted Zach Wilson. His feet pointing toward everything looks good. He could have even set his stance if he wanted to. But he's good throwing off. I wouldn't say his back foot, but he's good throwing off on the run. With time and his body leaning forward. Right here, that's his MO. When he throws off his back, that's when he'll loft it into the MetLife wind and let it just take it for a ride. But this is right on a dime. I mean, that's the Zach Wilson that the Jets need to see for a full game, not just a quarter or 2 quarters.
Absolutely, and I think we'll see it from the other views here too coming up. Just that ability from Garrett to really run through the ball, not think, just catch the ball naturally, I think is a really big thing that shows his confidence. Obviously, as you see here, runs a little out and up, kind of feels the space, works with Zach, obviously, as he moves out of the pocket, makes a good grab, really running through that ball.
Again, maximum effort. Look at this. Bounces off a tackle.
Yep.
Still going, still trying to stay up.
Yep.
He's still going. That's an extra 5 yards right there. That's the difference between winning and losing football games sometimes.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely, good job after the catch. And we'll see a very similar type of play here, using the gadget roll, little jet motion pitch pass, really just call from Michael Four on a 1st and 10. Absolutely. And we'll even see it from the other view. I mean, just his movement ability, obviously he's a very great athlete. That's well documented. And you really see when he has space to operate with, just how badly he can make people miss and how fluid he is changing directions.
Right here, those stutters. I mean, McCourty doesn't stand a chance.
It's unique.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Most guys ACLs go with that move, but not Garrett. He's just so nimble. He's like Kadarius Toney. He's like a healthy Kadarius Toney, essentially. Nice job working that first down.
Underneath, and we'll see it again here. Another jet motion pitch pass. Obviously, not a lot of space to operate with, but moves forward and gains a yard. Makes it 3rd and short. You see here, he makes catch in traffic over the middle on an in route. Like I said, he's very complete, very multiple, the ways in which you can utilize him and get him the ball. Makes another good grab. Obviously, there's good 4 defenders around him, and the quickness again in space after the catch, works around the guy, gets a couple extra yards.
Yeah,
I mean, to make him a focal point on these easy schemed up completions, I think is a way to get Zach in rhythm and continue to get Garrett involved.
Yeah, easy little slant. I mean, this is nice because he should have got stopped right there. Like he should get stopped right here. Right there. Instead, so he gets an extra 3, maybe 5 yards at the end of this play. Let's see where he ends up.
Crosses both those guys.
He ends up right an extra 4 yards, right? And that extra 4 yards, I mean, you can't really put value on it, but the reality is like that extra 4 yards is maybe the difference if you're at, almost at halftime between a field goal attempt or not, if you have another play to run. You never know. It changes everything. Those extra effort yardage is just a stat that goes kind of under the table. I wonder if they should come up with a stat one day that's like extra effort yardage and kind of looking at, you can measure, the actual production of a player giving 100%, because right now, like that's 100% effort. You can tell because he's still going. Otherwise he would just go down. Just pretty impressive, man. Like he doesn't stop. And I think that his role is only going to improve and increase here.
Oh, it absolutely should. And this final catch here, speaking on that contested catch ability, his ability to jump, stay in the air, high point the ball, the catch radius, obviously, which everyone loves to discuss. And it's a great attribute to his game. 3rd down, pinned up against the sideline and makes a really impressive, concentration grab there, above the rim. It just shows you how complete, how versatile, multiple, of a skill set he provides to this offense.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good throw by Zach too. I will say, he has Denzel Mims wide open on that crosser right there on that underneath route. That would have been an easy 1st down as well. Probably a safer throw, for being honest. But nonetheless, this is a timing route, right? This is a timing route with him and Garrett Wilson. So this is always meant to go to him, in my opinion, at least. This is supposed to be, this ball's going to be on his chest the second he turns around. And you'll see right here, he turns around, that ball's right there. All he has to do is just catch it. that's nice chemistry between him and Garrett Wilson. That's what the Jets are trying to develop right now, the chemistry between him and Garrett. So, you see Mims underneath, but they want that going to the sticks. They don't want an opportunity for a defender to maybe drag Mims down on 3rd and 6. They want that to be an easy first down, and it is, because the timing and the throws are on point. So that's definitely good for the Jets. Seeing that those connections are a positive to take away from. But end of the day, Zach definitely fell apart in the second half there, so you need to see a little bit more consistency from him.
Definitely. And you see him operating from that tight split before, obviously brings him into motion there to give him a little bit of a free release. And when he has space, as we've said, whether it's at the line of scrimmage, whether it's after the catch, he can, with his athletic ability, really make you miss badly. And Garrett's just so exciting for this Jets offense. What he's doing at the moment, obviously he's on pace for, well over 900 yards, going to have a chance of probably getting 1,000, if he continues to put together games like this. And to me, he's a core, long-term building block to the future of this Jets offense, this Jets team. And really, just excited that Garrett had this game and looking forward to, more of it to come.
Yeah. What I like about this is that he comes back to the football too. He doesn't get flat on this route. He actually turns it back upfield to give himself a little bit more cushion between him and the defensive back. So that's a positive thing. Just again, like I said before, he's a phenomenal route runner. He understands leverage. He understands how to help out his quarterback. And he does just that. And that's what ultimately provides him an opportunity to catch that ball without much interference. So, these are the primary catches from Garrett Wilson, but he's getting better every single week. 115 yards this week. Last week, not so good against Denver, 24, 8 yards against Green Bay. But he went through a stretch in the beginning of the season, 52 yards to start week 1, 102 yards, 60, 41, tapered off a little bit, then back to 115. They realized, why are we not getting the ball to Garrett Wilson? So, I think they're kind of realizing they need to lean on him. The question is, like, I think they don't want to overdo it with the rookie, but I think that right now with Breece Hall getting injured, you don't have much of a choice. You have to start turning your attention. And right now, everything's about the development of Zach Wilson. So force him to throw the ball. This is where he has to prove himself. So, force him to throw the football, force him to get comfortable and to start to really iron out some of these deficiencies. But I think Garrett Wilson moving forward is going to probably take some of those reps away from the running game, because, jet sweeps, those gadget style things, they're extensions of the running game. So you can utilize him in that way and supplement those deficiencies through Garrett Wilson. So I think that you're probably going to see him get a lot more opportunity in the coming weeks here. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with you. I think there is really an opportunity just from a volume standpoint for somebody to take the bulk of those reps that's lost with Breece Hall. And I love just the points you made with his route running ability, obviously being great. It's off the charts just with his speed, his quickness, his very unique movement style. And you also, really said it perfectly with just the gadget ability around the line of scrimmage. Continue to utilize that, manufacture easy touches for him to get Zach Wilson calm in rhythm. Garrett, like I said, just has that speed and quickness. He's great, in space, can make people miss. And just that multiplicity in the screen game, the jet sweeps, the pitch passes like we're seeing. There's so much he can do, inside and out. We saw him in a tight split on this particular play. There's so much that Garrett offers, and it's just going to be really exciting to continue to see him grow, throughout the rest of this first year.
That's absolutely true. But my friends, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions about Garrett Wilson and the impact he's going to make, and he is making right now. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Jets episode.